Earth is home to many different areas associated with habitable and uninhabitable settings. Most of the world's population lives in the mid-latitudes, where temperatures and meteorological conditions are the most favorable. But which areas on our planet are the harshest to live in? Let's find out. Although Earth is considered the only real habitable planet in our solar system, there are places around the planet that are not considered fit to live in. The reasons behind this are mixed, with a lot of them being associated with physical factors, while some have been human-induced. In this week's episode, we are going to explore some of Earth's most uninhabitable places. We will review each area and explain in depth why these places support little, if any, life. Before we begin, if you enjoy geography and earth science related content, you'll like the subjects covered on this channel. So be sure to subscribe to my channel, Our World, Our Planet, Our Home. Let's get started. Some of the most uninhabitable places are quite obvious. One is the southern hemispheric continent of Antarctica. Parts of coastal Antarctica are around 60 degrees south latitude, which is 6 degrees shy of the Antarctic Circle. So some life can be supported there, including bird species such as penguins, petrels, and gulls. Also, certain sea mammals such as whales and seals can live there. But heading inland, conditions start to deteriorate. During the winter season, between June and September, temperatures can reach as low as 100 degrees below zero, with even colder wind chills. This makes supporting life extraordinarily difficult. Adding more to this is the polar nights, which is when sunlight is non-existent for a period of time. Heading to the northern hemisphere, Siberia is another harsh place. During the reign of the Russian Empire and Soviet Union, political prisoners would be sent to this region frequently, mainly because of the very cold meteorological conditions in the winter months, along with geographical isolation. It sure lives up to this reputation in that some communities here experience prolonged temperatures well below zero. Yakutsk is in the middle of Siberia at a latitude of 62 degrees north and is regarded as being the coldest major city in the world, with average January mean temperatures of 34.4 degrees below zero. One would think that summer months aren't too warm there, but it's quite the contrary. July's daily mean temperature is 67.8 degrees, and the record high for Yakutsk is 101.1 degrees. Other than here, all of Siberia sees extreme temperature variations throughout the year. Hot and dry areas are considered harsh places, and deserts are areas where conditions are intolerable. The largest desert in the world, the Sahara, covers most of North Africa from the Atlantic Ocean to the Red Sea. In countries such as Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, and Egypt, much of the population lives near the coastline in more moderately climatic areas. But the inland areas of these nations are the heart of the Sahara Desert, and few people live there. Some of the hottest temperatures in the world occur in this desert, with one being a claim in Libya of the temperature reaching 136 degrees in 1922. However, this claim was decertified. Still, temperatures over 100 degrees are very common in the summer months and thus don't support much life. However, the sandcat, a small feline species, makes its home in the Sahara Desert. It survives by hunting small rodents and lizards for food, but also getting their hydration from their prey's liquids. In the U.S. Southwest, Death Valley is geographically the lowest elevation in North America at 282 feet below sea level. The valley holds a record for the highest verified temperature of 134 degrees on July 10, 1913, and it sees frequent days during the warmer months of over 100 degrees. While very few humans live in and around Death Valley, it may support certain life forms, with flowers blooming during the spring months after snowmelt has drained into the valley. In South America, the Atacama Desert, situated mostly in Chile, is unique in that parts of the desert have never received rainfall in recorded history. The average yearly precipitation for the desert as a whole is around 1/4 of an inch of rain a year. In the areas where rain is non-existent, there are few if any signs of life. In these areas of the desert is said to be quite similar to the Martian landscape. Elevation plays a role in uninhabitable conditions, and one place with the most pronounced features of this is the Himalaya Mountains. Much of the mountain range is very high, with many peaks above 20,000 feet in elevation. At that altitude, animal and plant life is few and far in between. But one insect, the Himalayan jumping spider, lives at an elevation of 22,000 feet, making it one of the highest permanent residents of life on Earth. However, above that, no life is supported. And on Mount Everest, the highest peak at an elevation of 29,032 feet, its extreme altitude, low temperatures, and thin air make it impossible for permanent habitation. In East Africa, the Danakil Depression in Ethiopia is harsh. Geologically, it's in an area where the African and Asian continents are diverging from each other, and it's one of the lowest places on Earth at 400 feet below sea level. The low elevation and low latitude make the area one of the hottest places on the planet in terms of averages. The volcanic springs produce toxic gases, so no macrobiotic life forms are present, but microscopic life can survive in these harsh conditions. Not all uninhabitable areas of Earth are caused by physical factors. Some have been human-generated. The Chernobyl Exclusion Zone in Ukraine is a designated area surrounding the site of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant disaster, which occurred on April 26, 1986, near the city of Pripyat in northern Ukraine. Massive amounts of radiation were produced from the accident, making the localized area uninhabitable. While people have historically visited the site, it's not advised for permanent human habitation since prolonged exposure to higher than average radiation levels can cause certain illnesses such as blood cancers. Experts believe that Pripyat will be safe to live in around 20,000 years. In the Buffalo metropolitan area, Love Canal, located in Niagara Falls, New York, became infamous as one of the worst environmental disasters and public health crises in the United States. In the 1940s, the Hooker Chemical Company began using the canal as a site for dumping toxic industrial waste. In the 1950s, the site was covered and the land was sold to the local school board for $1, with Hooker Chemical warning the board of the dangerous substances buried beneath. As the area developed and homes and schools were built near the canal, residents began reporting unexplained illnesses and birth defects. Investigations in the late 1970s revealed buried toxic waste was leaking into homes and playgrounds, leading to widespread health issues among residents. After this, much of the land was abandoned and purchased by the state of New York. Today, much of the Love Canal area remains vacant, and while state and federal officials claim it's safe today, many are wary of living there. While Earth is considered to be in the Goldilocks zone in our solar system, it still has numerous places which are unfit for life. Yet, humans, being an advanced intelligent species, have been able to inhabit extreme areas. And this may become more evident in the near and far future, especially with the still growing world population. That concludes today's episode. Thank you so much for watching again. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like this type of content, please subscribe to my channel, Our World, Our Planet, Our Home. Until next time!